How's it going, peeps? Welcome back to Viva La Coin. I am Joe. I will be your host for today's episode as we dive into one of the most explosive cryptos in the entire space this bull run thus far, and that is Theta. Now, what Theta does is they focus on the future of streaming. And I'm going to break down why that's important and why you should care about it and how it affects both you and the content creators that you watch day in and day out. If you find this information valuable, go ahead and share this with anyone that you can. Let's keep pushing the channel. I did get a couple fresh new Hawaiians in the mail, but that doesn't mean that I'm not trying to push for 200 subscribers before I start repeating Hawaiians again in that new cycle. As always, I appreciate you for that support. Now, as we dive in and start looking at this crypto, I want to make a couple things very clear. So Theta, when we cover them, they have already pumped significantly. So sometimes when I caution not to run into green candles, you have to be cautious because they're already up a lot. And I think that although they have the potential to go up maybe 5 times higher than they are now, most of their pump is already behind them, in my opinion. So I'm also going to throw in a low cap altcoin that I believe also has similar function that I've been in since early on in their development, and make an additional recommendation as to where you might be able to find value. But let's just go ahead and dive into the video here. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'm happy to respond to anything from that end. So just starting out in the cryptocurrency space here, first of all, I just want to point out that we are currently sitting right at around an all-time high at $1.87 trillion in an overall crypto market. Super exciting. But a big bulk of that comes from these top cryptocurrencies, from Bitcoin all the way down to number 10, our good friend Theta, that we're going to be covering today. So Theta was not even remotely close to the top 10. In fact, this run-up was something that most people didn't anticipate. And the people that did, hopefully they quit their jobs and they're super happy now in early retirement, because it had a run-up so far of about 19,000%, which is absolutely absurd and incredibly exciting to see one of those opportunities unfold in crypto. Unfortunately, I was not one of those individuals. However, with the other coin I'm going to mention after Theta, I just might be. So first with Theta, what do they do? Why are they important? And where is the price at today? So right now, Theta being in the top 10 cryptocurrencies, sitting right at the number 10 spot. Previously at the number 9 spot, it did kick Litecoin out for a brief moment until they had an update and they extended some of their timelines for their mainnet to go live. They had a little bit of a pullback, but they're sitting right at $12.86. And there is a hard cap max supply of 1 billion Theta. And all of them are currently in circulation, so they are not pumping out anymore. But if we look at just how far it's come up over the past couple months, even back in February, they were sitting right around $2. So most of this value has been a recent explosion of price. And part of that comes from the fact that they are in the NFT space as well. And they, in fact, are the largest NFT-based cryptocurrency in existence at the moment. However, I do believe other cryptos focus more on NFTs. I'm not sure why they're categorized as an NFT crypto, since their focus is more or less streaming. However, it doesn't play against them to be roped in with everyone else. And I'm sure that across different streams or offerings from their content creators, there's a million different ways you can incorporate NFTs, or there's non-fungible tokens. Now, in my opinion, I can't foresee them going up too much higher than $12. I could see maybe another 5x out of this if Bitcoin and the whole cryptocurrency market continues to rise. One difficult thing about them, just to mention before I go into their actual use case, is they are a little bit difficult to purchase. They're not available on Binance US, Coinbase, or Voyager. So you could use Uniswap to go and buy them, like I showed you how to in our Uniswap video. You would just have to enter that amount of Ethereum you want to trade for them. But my suggestion would be I use KuCoin. Now, KuCoin is not the easiest website to navigate, but that's just because I have my own preferences. I'm not the biggest fan of KuCoin. But ultimately, my suggestion isn't necessarily for you to rush in and go buy a bunch of Theta. This is more informational on how this type of space is going to continue to explode and why. So if we go to Theta's website, their mainnet for their total infrastructure going live, that's going to go up in 91 days. Now, that timeline was just extended last week, which took a lot of people by surprise as they expected it to be ready much sooner. And that's why they had a little bit of a dump, but that is okay. I do believe that a little bit of additional time to allow them to get their ducks in a row is going to be a positive thing for them. But let's talk about what they help to fix and what is important. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and quote the co-founder of YouTube, Steve Chen. Theta's innovation is set to disrupt today's online video industry, much in the same way that YouTube as a platform did to traditional video back in 2005. One of our biggest challenges had been the high cost of delivering video to various parts of the world, and that problem is only getting bigger with HD, 4K, and higher quality video streams. I'm excited to be a part of the next evolution of the streaming space, helping Theta to create a decentralized peer-to-peer network that can offer improved video delivery at lower cost. So just to quote someone who has already found success in the streaming space, YouTube is synonymous with streaming. And actually, they've come under fire a lot recently for pulling down different videos, whether it is individuals coming up and trying to talk about the pandemic. If you say certain terms associated with the virus, your video gets demonetized or it gets taken down. If you have certain political views or trying to share controversial opinions, whether they're right or they're wrong, your ability to share them could be throttled or you could be demonetized. I'm sure that at least with one of your content creators that you know, they've had an experience where their video was taken down, blocked, demonetized. Some people even have like their Twitters taken down in association with a YouTube video. This is a very real problem, and you start to blur the lines with censorship and free speech. So how do we get away from that? And blockchain being permissionless, being immutable, being incorruptible, if you have a streaming service that runs on a decentralized network, you wouldn't be able to necessarily face those same restrictions that you would in your normal centralized company like YouTube. But let's look at what problems exist in today's streaming sector and what they aim to fix. Now, just to point out real quick, they have some serious enterprise validator nodes. They work with Google, Sony, Samsung, Binance, the largest exchange in the world. They definitely have some big backers and they've been featured a lot of different places. But let's look at the problems. So live video streaming today, you face poor quality. So today's content delivery networks lack reach, causing video rebuffering and high load times in many parts of the world. Secondly, you face skyrocketing data needs. Users demand 4K, 8K, and higher quality streams that create infrastructure bottlenecks. And then finally, centralized and inefficient systems. The centralized nature means less revenue flows back to content creators and platforms. So they have a series of solutions to fix this. So a decentralized peer-to-peer video delivery, this new native blockchain is powered by users. Solution number one, viewers can earn rewards as Theta Fuel, which Theta Fuel is a secondary cryptocurrency to Theta, and that's also been pumping in price. But for sharing excess bandwidth and resources, viewers can now be incentivized and rewarded to participate in that network by receiving Theta Fuel. Secondly, higher quality and smoother video streaming. A decentralized peer-to-peer network delivers streams efficiently globally because you're sharing those resources and incentivizing those people to section those off for the people that can't afford it or don't have the resources. And then finally, reduce costs of delivering video streams. Video platforms no longer need to build expensive infrastructure, and that means more innovation and unique business models. So you're not reliant on a single centralized company and their business model or structure to set up your streaming and your content. Since you can build and put things on this blockchain, particularly in your content, you have more reign over innovating how you want to do it. So it solves three major problems. And the amount of money that flows into this type of space in YouTube alone, let alone if you think about Twitch and how many people stream their gaming stuff on that platform, it's all in that same basket. The opportunity is massive. And if you can improve how smooth the videos render, if you can help people share those resources and pay them with Theta Fuel, and that continues to appreciate in price, it becomes a very smooth ecosystem. Now, what I wanted to point out is there is a second cryptocurrency that does something similar that is much, much less known, and this is the one that I actually invested in. Now, I'm going to point this out for two reasons. One, I just want to talk about it because I do believe in the project and I've been investing in them for a while. But secondly, I want to prove a point, and that is to show that there in cryptocurrency, like I mentioned, there are 8,960 some cryptocurrencies. You're going to have your top 10 and your top 50 and your top 300 in super high market caps and less of an ability to have it 5x, 10x, 50x. Now, if you're just going in and buying Bitcoin and calling it a day, that's okay. But there are so many people that get more comfortable with crypto by the day, and they want to invest in different cryptocurrencies that can give them a great return on their investment. So I always look at what cryptos are being successful and what they're doing, and I try and find smaller cryptos that are attempting to do the same thing, sometimes even better, and I invest in them because, in my opinion, I think they have just as high, if not a higher chance of giving me a better return on investment, because by the time I understood Theta, they were already significantly up. Now that crypto is Verasity, or ticker VRA. And right now they're at about 3 cents in some change. And they're up 19% on the day, on the 24 hours. Now they have a market cap of $121 million and about 3.8 billion in circulating supply, with the total max supply of about 10.3 billion. Now, for them, back in November, December, I was digging through all of those long lists of cryptos, trying to find my quote unquote moonshots. What projects do I think are gonna fucking come up and be the dark horse that blows past everyone and gives me the best returns? And after spending day after day after day after day digging through them, Verasity was one of about 5 projects that I chose to invest my money in. Now, to show you where they're at right now and how far they've come, this is them at about 3 cents, about 3.5 cents. I believe they'll be pushing by the end of the night. They're starting to get their volume up. To show you where I invested in them, it was not the most exciting time. I actually invested a fair amount of money in them right around here. I actually bought them heavily on Christmas night, which that shows how fucking lame I am that this is what I was doing on Christmas. But I bought them for 1/20th of a penny at a volume that right now is making me a little lightheaded seeing what is happening. Because at that point, I had no idea. I mean, I had a decent idea because I dug deeper into them and looked at some of their value propositions. But did I expect to already be up 50 times? No, I didn't. And do I believe that it still has a lot of room to run? Yes, I absolutely do. And part of the reason for that is Verasity deals more with gaming, not so much just streaming. And they set up all these gaming tournaments and they incentivize people in esport competitions and they pay out victory bonuses with VRA. And on top of that, they also just started tying in NFTs as well. Now, they have a unique patent that they got approved, and it is the only patent approved in all of cryptocurrency that's actually on a protocol. Theta has two patents, but they're not on the protocol. Verasity has one on the protocol, and it is for proof of view. And I read about this months ago, and essentially what it does is it works to eliminate fake views on content. And in doing so, that is a multi-$100 billion industry is online advertising. And if you spend $100 billion on marketing and half of the views that you're getting are from bots or fake accounts, you're just wasting your advertising dollars. So this proof of view concept is supposed to validate who is a real view or not so that you can find out the real cost of your marketing. So that is pretty incredible. And it has a couple benefits for the creators. So it's finally a level playing field. By building a real, not fake, but a real engaged audience, you can grow the value of your content and be fairly monetized for it. For the viewers, it ensures that the content that is recommended and surfaced has been seen and engaged by real users. Therefore, a true value for the content can be established and the most appropriate content for the viewer is surfaced. As viewers transact directly with creators, content can be accurately valued by the audience rather than manipulated by a third party. And they just send all these bot views over and just pump shit up like crazy. I mean, even in social media, how many people just pay for fake likes, fake clicks, fake followers? It's a pretty rampant problem. And then for advertisers and brands that just bleed out a bunch of money with fake views, for advertisers and brands, your ads get seen by real individuals. No more inflated metrics. Get real views and real reach. Pay for what you get instead of the fakes. And by using Veracity's rewarded player, you pay the viewers directly for their attention. Reach engaged and opt-in audience rather than people just waiting for the skip button. So as a viewer, you actually get incentivized for watching certain ads. And you can say, yes, I accept that I will watch this ad. I'm not going to skip it. And you actually be paid out in VRA in order to watch it. So it really is a nice business model. And I was pretty shocked when I read through everything back in mid-December that no one else was investing in the company. Well, I mean, they had plenty of partnerships and investors behind the scenes, but the cryptocurrency market wasn't really acknowledging them yet. And they have actually been around for a while. They've been around since like early 2019. So at that point, I said, fuck it. I'm going balls to the wall, and I dove in heavily on them. And right now I'm up 50x. So it just goes to show that doing your research and understanding what's going on in cryptocurrency, comparing and contrasting major cryptos like Theta, and understanding why they're valuable and the importance of what they're doing in the space of, let's say, streaming, and then cross-comparing other projects that do similar things, possibly some things even better, and trying to find whether or not they are a good investment. It's the best way to get the most bang for your buck in the short amount of time that we have in this bull run. And I firmly believe that both projects will be successful over the course of the coming months. But if you have any other questions, let me know. Also for Verasity, if you want to purchase it, you can on both KuCoin, which is a different exchange, as well as Uniswap. When you look up that contract for them, you can find it on etherscan.io. And I'll leave a link for that down below if you are interested in possibly even purchasing it and you don't know how, or it's out of the realm of what you understand. Shoot me a direct message if you know me personally, and if not, leave a comment and I'll help you the best that I can. But aside from that, thank you for joining us on this episode of Viva La Coin as we dug into Theta, Veracity, and streaming services as a whole, and where we think the future of YouTube and Twitch and online streaming is heading. And I will catch you guys next time.